Let's go with, there they are, and okay, good morning guys, this is Simon with TRADINGFORM Coaching. It is Tuesday morning, the 19th of December, wrapping into Christmas, Hanukkah, and anything else you celebrate. So just quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only, right? You can lose a lot of money trading futures, and I strongly recommend, if you do not know what you're doing, using either Apex or Top Step Trader to learn how to trade so that you do not lose a ton of money. For those of you who are on YouTube, there is a delay on this, not intentional, but there is a delay. Be aware of it. The goal is of the room is A, to help people understand trading, and B, to understand how our process works, right? So let's jump in, and we will go from there. 1 second. So the first thing I want to cover this morning is that 5-minute level, right? Look, this is a gift. This is a gift to most people. Okay, if you're trying to establish bias here, if you are trying to establish bias, let me see how I did not mean to do that. Let's erase this. There we go. This 5-minute level, right? This is exactly how it's supposed to work. So market opens up, drives higher, comes back into support, orange dot down, white dot up, and off you go to the races. Okay, so I want to show specific. So there's two things that you need to know about today. First of all, we need to break the low. The low is the 5-minute low yesterday. So 832 becomes the low that has to be broken in order to stop the one timing to the upside. So it's really easy. Take the level, move it down. I have it locked, I bet. Here, we'll just do it this way. Yes. Take the level, and we will draw it out. And it's pretty simple. It's the 5-minute low right here. Let's lock it. And then yesterday's high, it was obviously right here. You can see we've pierced overnight. So just lock it. Do the same thing with the ES. And then we'll just color this dark blue, and that'll be our Globex high. We'll lock that. And then our Globex low is going to fall right here in Asia. Okay, and that's kind of the playing field for the day. And out of all of that, what will be most important to me will be where that 5-minute area lies on the open. Okay, so those are my critical areas for today. And I know in order to go lower, I've got to trade below that. 16,832. I can erase this here. Doesn't matter anymore. And then I save all of that. File. Let's see where I did this. File. Save all. I've got to be on file, don't I? There we go. Now, how am I using the white dots? Okay, becomes a question. So I want to go through this again. I haven't had time to go through it in detail, but it's very, very simple for me. Okay, I know the white dots contain concentrated volume in there. So let's erase the lines. So the question is, how do you add them to the rest of the trade, right? So when I'm watching this market come down like this, Okay, sometimes it's a layup anyways. You know all the volumes in here from the triple dots. But I know once I close over like this, on price, on a bar with a white dot, we should continue higher. And that's also true over here. Once I close over, right? So the exception to this was that we were extended all the way up. So you got this reversal bar, but then as soon as the body closes back above that white bar, we will tend to continue higher, right? So now if you look through, so that was yesterday, right? So if you look through yesterday and you look at it all by itself, right? So no, we weren't trading. We weren't trading. We were trading. Here's the down, the bar with the white dot down, right? It also had the single orange dot. So the problem is the single orange dot doesn't tell you as much information as you would like to have, but that white dot gives you a lot of information there. It tells you there was a ton of volume stacked. You close above, they give you another white dot up, it breaks out, and it broke out. So Ed, where that white dot really comes in handy is on the single orange dots, because when you have the Christmas trees there already, meaning multiple dots, you're good to go. But that white dot adds information that you otherwise don't have about that area. So if you look at that from that perspective, you would go this, right? And then as you look through here, you would also say, well, this already had the Christmas tree plus the white dot. So either way, that was the breakout point to the upside. And then if you look to the upside, we didn't get any white dots. We just didn't have anything up there to help us out with the short. And I'm really not all that interested in the white dots in the direction of, just based on the white dot alone, right? So that's how I would have used it. I would have said the same thing here. Look, this orange dot now with the white dot has a lot of information in it. And I would say if we get above it in general, we should go higher. I can go back to another day and demonstrate the same thing. So let's just load 30 days really quick. So here, I'll use this, okay? So we already know when we come off the bottom and I get that push back, right? The Christmas trees are important. We would probably already be long above this anyways, right? But if this had been a single orange dot plus the white dot, then that tells me a lot of information. Additionally, I know between this bar and this bar, this is the bar that has all the volume in it, hence that's the one that gets backside tested, right? And the close above that one with the white dot pushes out. And then when I'm looking for the short up here, right, I know either way, even if it gets above it, this orange bar with the white dot is the one that has to be beaten. If I draw a line across it, you will see, right, it does two things. First of all, it has a difficult time getting above. Once they regain it, they do push. But this is the first time underneath. Time one pushes a little bit. Time two pushes all the way down. When this guy pushes back, remember, I'm not using these bars to push back in the direction of. So when it closes underneath, I'm going to go, this guy's gotten beat. And then as I come down and look through here, what I'm going to say is, this is the guy that has to go right here. The down dot for the longs, the up dot for the shorts. So you can see when I regained him the first time, stopped. When I regained him the second time, launched, and then he backside tests and comes off with an orange dot. That's exactly how I'm using that information. I'm not using it in the direction of, and it adds, to me, it adds valuable information as to what we have to lose. Like when I'm over here and I look through this, I don't get any additional, well, I get this at the bottom, right? So that's a point, right, case in point right there where I normally wouldn't have it if we assume the data is correct, right, which we both know when we go back and do the historical testing, so-so. Right? But if this is correct and this is the only piece of information I get, I'm going to be long right here where the one bar stop, right? Additionally, I know the breakout, all the concentrated volume in one bar was right there. I've got to clear that guy. Just like when I was over here, I get orange and white right there, right? Now, if you'll notice, it's only a slight different, but if that single orange bar is by itself and doesn't have the white dot on it, it becomes suspect. And in this case, they held, but they didn't rotate back against it. But you'll notice once like this versus using it in an immediate area. The only exception to that is when you're coming off the bottom strongly and you get the push down and then the push right back up. That's where that changes. Does that help you a little bit, Ed, in terms of how I'm using it? Okay, good. Oh, hold on, it shows that I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Is my screen still being shared, guys, or did it disappear? Exactly. Yes, Ed, 100%. Hey guys, did my screen disappear? Or is it still showing in the room? I think it disappeared. We'll try this again. How about now? Fixed? And I think Ed put it pretty eloquently there. What he said was the construction of the orange and white dots, all else being equals, means that combined they are harder to beat and better for extensions. And I would agree with that statement 100%. And then I can show you again another place where again, when I'm looking down into the hole, what I want to see, this is Fed day. Let's get out of this. Here, we'll go to the prior day. So even over here, we should see some type of result, right? So see how I have this white dot right over here comes down, and then once I close over it, it's gone. Now, hold on, let me make sure that I'm not missing anything. Here we go. I'll just open two screens. Man, this just must not be mic check. Yeah, I am. It's not coming across, and the screen got lost, right? Okay, hold on a sec. Let me redo the link. Okay, sorry guys. I don't know. It seemed to jump. Is the screen showing, Randy? Okay, here. Yes, Joyce. I'll repost the link. I apologize. Don't know what happened there. Let's get that. I had it going and then it didn't. Okay, so let's rework this, right? The white dot, all else being equal, as Ed stated, when you have a white dot added to any of the normal Christmas trees, the yellow, the green, the orange, and you get a white dot added to it, you should see extensions once you close above it, just like this, right? Just like this. Okay, now what it does is the orange dots, because of the way they're calculated, are easier to form. Now the green and the yellow are not, right? But when you add a white dot to the mix, for example, I would have said, see how you have parallel white dots over here? I'd say when we close above those, we're going to lift. And that's exactly what happens here, right? You get those parallel white dots, you get the bar close above, and off it goes to the races. The inverse is true too, right? When you're coming up to the high, and what I was going to say is what I prefer, see how you get this white dot, then it closes down below here, right? I really don't like that. What I prefer to see is, let me see if I can find it. I like to see a few bars close above it, like this. So I get this white dot, then I get 2 bars above it, and then it closes back below. I like seeing that. Why? Because first of all, those buyers got extension and thought they had it. When a bar folds back against you, if you just think about the psychology of it, you usually kind of go, well, wait a minute, right? But if you get a couple of bars extending above, you're like, I got it, and then you're like, oh, I don't have it. Like, this is a 10, 15 point counter rotation for day traders, futures traders. That's a big deal, right? So I prefer to see at least one more bar underneath it. Doesn't have to be that way, but I'd prefer to see it. Let's go jump to another day so I can show you. And all you have to do is picture this, is look at an area. Let's go to this day here. Okay, so see this? I actually like this, where it forms, pushes up against it, and then closes down underneath the body. I actually like this because it tends to get better extensions. When you look over here, and obviously long is better than short, especially in all these examples because we've just been ripping the last couple of days. So when you look over here, see this white dot right there? All else being exclusive out of there, right? So first of all, there's no orange. So if you look in this area, there's no orange dot down, right? So we like an orange dot down. What we do is we get this bar up, which we know is a very strong buyer, both concentrated and all that's a lot of information, right? But the guy you got to beat is this guy right here. And the market tells us that. It's not that I have to figure it out, right? The market told me that because A, it told me all the volumes concentrated there, right? Number two, I closed above it. Number three, it backside tested it. Now, if I didn't have the dot there and I was just trading it, that white dip, and I was just trading it blindly, there's nothing there. What I'm going to say is I'm going to have to go back and say you have to beat this guy right over here, right? Which is fine, which it's fine, except that you already beat this guy once and got above, right? And it's of all the Christmas tree lights that we have there, that's the weakest one, right? Whereas that white dot is extremely strong. So this guy, basically my assumption would be is this guy pushed once, got smoked, pushed twice, and when they got back above him, now that you can see he pushed back a third time, see if it comes off that bottom, traps, pushes back one more time and gets above him, and off it goes to the races. That's how I'm using it. Now, I might have said the same thing right here, right? I got one above, I close behind, I would expect it to push back, right? But now I'm going to say the exact same picture here. I get this guy, I close above, I'm going to expect it to push out. And if you use it in that way, it should make it very, very useful. Again, the shorts have been having an incredibly hard time. Like, I almost feel sorry for them in a way. It'd be nice to get some pull downs, right? Again, when you look at this, like when it pulls down like this, right? Normally with that orange dot, we'd go, maybe. But now that I've added that additional piece, which again, these are calculated, they achieve the same goal calculated in a different manner, is the best way to explain this, okay? And there's just a boatload of volume in that candle. When you get this, this is going to be the likely result, right? So I'm not walking around going long or going short every white dot. I am going, like here, see how I have no other piece of information? Right now I'm going to say, look, you got to get below this guy. Without the white dots there, I'd say you have to get below this guy, and then these guys, I'm going to draw a point of control. But what I am looking at this is I'm going, wow, we're really outside the channel, and what that white dot is supposed to do is show where retail traders are packing in. It's measuring volume in a different way to show wide participation as opposed to a single trader buying a lot of contracts, right? It's showing wide participation amongst a lot of traders is what that white dot is telling me, right? So these could all be produced by a single trader. It would be very unlikely to have a white dot produced by any single institutional trader, okay? Because it's measuring it, it's measuring the volume by a different metric, okay? So how would it not work in our favor? Okay, well here, I'll show you. Over here, what I want for them to do is press down. They just don't do it, right? It's this guy right over here, right? You'll see when they closed above them, you get a little lift, but it took 1, 2, 3 pushes to get above, right? Now, where our last push ended up being was in 2 places. First of all, this was the first guy or the last guy in that push down to try really hard. You can see once they got above them, it still took 1, 2, 3, but that's also commensurate with that 8:50 to 9 o'clock area, right? So in this case, it was the orange dot all by itself. He pushed, he couldn't get anything done, they got above him, they lifted. It doesn't always show up, but if you waited patiently, you got the orange and white dot all in the same bar, you came above it, and then you got this 50 or 100 point pop, whatever it was off to the right. If we go a little bit further back, okay, this is a good example where I just didn't get what I wanted. See how we've closed below the 5-minute opening range right over here? I really would have liked to have a white dot pressed right up into this. What we ended up, someone was wondering what a tweezer's top is or a tweezer's bottom. That, to me, is a perfect tweezer's top right there. And what you'll see is they'll go left, right. They'll try to push on the third bar there, and they can't get above. I forget who was asking yesterday. I think it was maybe Ian. Someone asked about the tweezer's top. I forget who it was. I apologize. So, but that's it, right? And then here, I'll show you another one. But see how there's a valley in between the two of these, right? See how it pushed away, then came all the way back to it? That's what I prefer to see, as opposed to this, where it went down, it went up, it went down. I don't like that tweezer's top. I like the one with distance. I like this. Down, up, and this bar, you can draw a clean line right across the two of these. It's perfect. And then, see, now that to me is perfect, right? Tweezer's top, and then you get that orange-white to the downside. I am in on that. That looks fantastic to me, right? And then on the long side, I just want to be long above this guy. Once I get the bar to close in above him, I'm good to go. Okay, so floor's open for questions because we got 5 minutes to the open, but that's what I'm trading today. Again, I'll probably only trade a half a day today. I have coaching sessions after the market, so I'll be back. Yes, sir. Max. 16 point stop max, correct. I mean, really on those tweezers, on the right side of that tweezer, it should just go. And you can have a head, someone asked about this, you can't have a head and shoulders tweezers top. It's that, right there. And Randy, you can see, I think that's actually only 12 points. Let's see if you entered here. That's 58. Wow, I gotta fix the size of the font. Does anyone know how I fix the size of that font off the top of their head? Off the number bar so I can get this bigger. 58, and this is 72. So 58, 68, plus 4, 72. So yeah, you need 16 points on that, Randy. This little tiny one right here where you can't read the number at all. Neither can I. Bill. Yeah, and the same thing with the lines. See how small they are? There's numbers there. I just can't figure out which button to hit to make it bigger after 10 years of using this thing. No, you can't. I tried. Chart drawing properties, labels, options. There's no place for font. Anyways, I'll figure it out. Let me reset this. 3 days. You know you got to trade below yesterday's low to start with, right? Watch for open drive lower. And we'll go from there. I am a little bit tired and a little bit, I don't want to say sick, but something. Okay, Bill, I'm with you. Global settings, graphic settings, global. And then font tab. Fonts. Okay. Chart text. Already nothing. Text windows. Select. It's already have it at 12. It's just nothing. Spreadsheets, control bar, text. Select. Maybe it's this. That one's set pretty small. Nope. Study summary, global, select. Still not. Oh, maybe that's it. Select. See if I do 20, it's just so tiny. No, it's not that. Chart values window, select. I'll just keep going through it and figure it out. Just, you got me. That's all I can say. Remember, we have a Fed speaker right at 8:30. Okay? So, give me just a second. I'm going to go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. And it looks like we have a little bit of balance to start the day. And obviously, if you're for my it's going lower crowd, you got to get below this right here, 5-minute low, and then you got to get below yesterday's low. Those are the two areas that are critical for you. So we'll see. And again, there is the Fed speaker going right now on Yahoo Live Finance. I have no desire to see that. And I still have not tagged Globex high. Taking out Globex high. That was the blue line. Then we have indexes up 11 on ES, 53 on NQ. So the easy way to do this is while you're above that 5-minute level, the easy way to do it is to assume buyers are in control until you get extended well away. Now, does that work every time? No, of course not, but works a lot. Or to be more conservative in your short choices when that happens. So you got Globex low and they're trying to close back in. So your stop, if you short that, right, A, you're aggressive, right? B, your stop is at 90, let's just call it 97. Now we see where it goes. It's in there. We're back inside that 5-minute level. Shorts want it below 16,944 for sure, and they want it below that 16,974 for sure. Backside test of that location. So that was orange dot and white dot on the same bar. I'm telling you, that's a very powerful combination. And now they're attempting to close behind. They've closed behind this white dot, and this is the last strong white dot in there. All of those trigger rotations. Now your target's down to that, and we're trapped back inside prior day's low. Now your target is all the way back down in here. That's just normal everyday trading. Okay. So again, if you're long bias, which we have been for multiple days, you're looking for the long out of that window. You're looking for a white dot down, an orange dot down in there. Did that make sense to everybody? Ed, did that make sense to you? Does that clarify a little bit? So again, you're not looking for the bar up, you're looking for the bar down, right? And don't forget to take pictures of your setups so you can review them later. Okay. Notice ES is barely winding off while NQ is winding down. That's fine, Ed. No worries. And Fed speaker. Right? And then once we get underneath here, two things. That 5-minute low will turn into resistance on pushes back up. And usually the first time underneath that 5-minute low, they'll try to push back towards it. Right? So let's say you get long at Globex low. Your target would be back to that 5-minute low. Now whether it makes it or not, different story. And this is, and you can tell from pre-market at 620, this guy's your strongest support. The white dot with the 2 Christmas tree bulbs on it. And that's definitely what you're targeting if you're targeting back down, right? Like there's should be zero question in your mind as to that. And you're going to see they're going to come into this guy right here. See this? He's defending. That becomes your strongest. If you get the Christmas trees with the white dot on it, meaning the orange, green, and yellow, multiple dots, plus the white dot, let's just call that the star on top of the Christmas tree, right? The backside test of that will generally get some kind of response back up. Okay, so what do we do now? If you got that short, you're waiting patiently. If you're looking for the long, right, you don't have a candidate right now because you need the push down to show you that they're exhausting down there, unless you just are going to say they're going to hold that 5-minute level, right? That's not how I trade. But if you're just going to say, look, they're not going to break that 5-minute level, I think first time in they're going to push back the other way. But we don't want to see the buyers. We want to see the sellers push into that. right, to show that they're trapped. And yes, I know I look a little crazy in my glasses, but I'm alright with that. It saves my eyesight from the radiation off these screens. Look at ES. It's just a machine. Look at that. They're coming off of NQ, but look at ES. Bam, 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 bam. They're just hitting that thing. Thank you, Ian. I'll take that as a compliment. So the other thing you can do is take your 5-minute level, right? That 4808, I think that's the unadjusted year's high or the all-time high on the ES. I forget why I marked it off, but it's one of the two. And I believe this is your 8:30 open. So this becomes your, I'll get rid of that white line. Becomes your IB low. Back above prior day's high. And 4808, who gave that to me? I think that was Ed. Ed, wasn't that you with the unadjusted, back-tested all-time high? Someone did. Someone gave that to me. Maybe it was, oh, you know who it was? It was Ron in New York. $48.08 and a quarter for an unadjusted. If you unadjust the futures and don't adjust your back charts, it's $48.08. That was Ron. I had to go back and look. Both very good traders. Ed caught an 80-point ripper yesterday, by the way. I want to tip of the hat to him. Great job. He's been working super hard on his extensions. It's not an easy thing to do, but he held that trailer. Made a big difference, didn't it, Ed? Now you just have to find a balance of when you can do it and when you can't. It's maddening when they come back on you. I'm talking about the other way around. And you can see that 5-minute zone is acting as support. Right, guys? See how you just keeps you from getting bearish out of the gate? You just go, oh, I've got a way to look at this now, where it doesn't rely on you to look at any larger time frame than that 5 minute and go, I know which way I'm leaning. Back to backside test that first 5 minute high. And we're 4 minutes till 9 o'clock. We're in that shop zone. And that's exactly, the other part of that is if you shorted this, you had to realize, right? So when you think about it, target's back in to this, but that this is going to act as support, right? And then where's my ray? And then this is your little trend line within there, forming a little wedge. See what that instantly tells you? This guy is stuck, and this guy is stuck. And they responded off of both of them. Now if you get underneath this guy will be stuck. Remember the mistake I think everyone made yesterday from a retail standpoint was there's no way they're going to trend day it up for umpteenth day in a row. So let them prove it to you. So the characteristics of a down day, first of all, will be below the first 5 minute low. Number two, speed. Number three, rotation size, right? Rarely do we get a down day without those characteristics, right? So even if you thought this is the worst market in the entire world, you still got to get below 16. And we're knocking on 9 o'clock, 2 minutes till. That's a close below right there. Too fast to even think about it. Nice little roll down. Here's the hard part. Like, see, for me, I just got FOMO off of that. Why? Because I wanted to short that bar right there on the close underneath here, right? And too bad. I just got to wait for it to set up again now. That was a pretty illiquid move right there. Whoever sold that, that was just pretty. I'm looking at the numbers, pretty thin. And remember, we still don't get complacent. I want to remind everyone in the room. If we go into open drive lower, right, what are the characteristics? 15-minute bar, negative bar, under negative bar, under negative bar, 3 in a row. So you should have that up on your radar. Obviously the 30-minute bar, where is that? There it is. So we're not there yet, right? I have the 15-minute chart up. We're not there yet. We have to still complete this 15 minutes down, but what you will have is for delayed open drive lower, you have to be at least inside the range, right? Unless it's just a giant gap. Number 2, below the 5-minute low. Number 3, 3 15-minute bars in a row. 1, 2, 3. If you see that, think twice about what positions you want to take, right? So just remember, just because we've been up a bunch of days in a row, we'll get complacent, and we have this mindset of looking for the longs. Nothing wrong with that, right? But just realize, when the gate opens for profit taking, it can be pretty harsh the first time down. So don't be there, sitting there going bam, bam, bam on your bars, going it has to work, it has to work. The first time out of this, someone's going to want out pretty hard, right? And we just don't know how to look. So you just go, okay, I've got my 15-minute chart, I'm below the 5-minute. If I'm below Globex low, and I'm going to wait for things to develop in a way that look more pristine. That's what I would say. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Mic check, mic check. Okay, good. Yeah, you can talk for me.
I gotta go.
Okay.
So you've had one, right?
One trade.
Okay. So that's really it did really well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now, what's your plan between now and
Wait for that little white dot to set up again.
the setup again? Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And so you're not no guessing.
No guessing, and I'll send you a photo each time I take a trade.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good job.
Okay. I love you. Thank you for coming out. Okay, let's see where we go. Retesting yesterday's high. $65.25 would indicate a potential short there. You have the white dot, orange dot up. So again, you're looking to test the bottom, that 44 or lower, right, against the high. So 1960, let's just call it 65 and a quarter, 64, 75, somewhere in there. And it's not at the top of the channel, by the way. It's just inside the balance, so you'd have to consider it a very aggressive short. ES hasn't broken down yet. It's on its way to just grinding its way up. There's no speed there, so this is just goes down as a speculative short. That's what exactly how you list it. Very illiquid on NQ. It's got to close below 70 on that bar to get it rolling to the downside. That's the backside test of prior day's low. And we're just chopping. Thank you. And yes, tags a new high. Best rally I've ever seen. All I can say. Best rally I have ever seen. You caught every single person there is to catch out on the short side. You caught them out. And in a very, very short period of time. Everyone was locked out of the rally and it rolled straight up. Fantastic. Zero complaints about that trade. Other than I wish it would have dipped some more in there, but there was no room. No one had any room to get out. Try something here. The domes. Is anyone else's domes moving kind of clinky? Or is it just me? Like there's no volume, right? I'm not wrong. There's no participation in terms of the dome, right? Let's make sure I have this right before I go off into left field on it. Yeah, okay, cool. It'll stay that way till they squeeze every little soul out of there. Potential apex, potential tweezers top there. Potential. Again, he has just ripping, so I'm just pointing it out. Right? And this day may be literally over. There's just no one participating in a two-sided. No one's looking for buyers or seller. No one's looking for. There's no sellers looking to get out, right? So you just kind of have to wait it out. That was your long right there. I missed it. I should have seen it. White dot down, bar above, lift out. Did anyone else get it? I don't know what I was doing when I didn't get it, but that was good. And that's a tweezer's top. It stops right at the high. You can stop that at 98. But again, there's just no presence of sellers at all. So the odds are is that they're going to, why not take it higher? I'd love to see him roll it down, but I know I need below 16,944. And I have no solid setup here besides the tweezer's top. Hey Nate, your camera's on. Good morning. guys, I do believe I might call it an early day. I mean, there's no measurable trading here to discuss, or I'd be doing it. It's just up, and that's okay. But I do need some kind of rotation to make some money. Ha! Ed. Lobex high satisfied. Now you need to close at 1690 quarter for the potential short. Again, you're above the 5-minute limit, so you're really looking for the other way around. And I agree with you, buddy. That's pretty funny. Anyways, guys on YouTube, I'd love to provide you with more. These were the shorts and the longs. It's just too slow for me to hang out 1 and 2. That was the long, that was the short, and this is the initial long if you're willing to take it right out of the gate, right there. And that's the process. So, anyways, I got nothing more to add. The market's not moving or rotating, so I can't teach anything, so I'm just going to kill it. I appreciate y'all being here, and thank you for taking the time. If you like the video, please hit like. I really appreciate it. Apparently, it helps with the algorithms and getting more people to notice the video. And if you could do that. Thank you, and have a great day, guys. Don't get smoked trying to find the top. Too many people have been smoked doing that.